Hi friends, welcome back to my studio. I'm Katie and today we're going to do a everyday carry setup. So the last video I posted was about me kind of losing my mind about trying to decide what I wanted for a planner for next year. You can watch that video to go through all of it, but the big takeaway I realized was that I needed an everyday carry that was the entirety of my planning, that I could no longer really do the B6 planner at home and the passport on the go. I was just missing stuff. It was driving me crazy. So that was the big takeaway. And then I spent a bunch of time testing out, measuring, figuring out what I want for next year. And I have a pretty good idea of what I want for next year. That's coming. But it's not next year yet. And I am a person who has struggles being patient. I don't know. It's not exactly that. It's that now that I know what I want, it's hard to deal with the realities of something else. So I was very tempted to just buy a notebook and get started or whatever. But I've proven myself to be on about a 12-month time scale. And last year I started in Passport in July, and then I got bored of it by this July, and I still had 6 months left in this notebook. So that wasn't excellent, and I don't want to get myself into that situation again. So we are biding our time, and we're doing inserts. So I recently went on a trip, and I pulled out this Passport planner holder thing that I used last year, and I really enjoyed it. I had my credit cards and stuff in here. I actually had my passport. I had this little folder, which actually has some of the stuff from my trip, which I should probably put somewhere else. I went to the Canadian Rockies, and it was amazing. But also it made me really fall in love with Passport inserts again. That's not what I'm going to use next year. I need something bigger because I would really like everything to be all on one page, but that's not where we're at this present moment. And I want to use what I have. I want to try some new weird things before I commit to next year. I want to go into next year in January feeling excited, it's not old news, I haven't been using it, or the equivalent of it for 4 months. So what I did was I printed a sampler of different layouts. I bought them all separately. They're not sold as a sampler, from Creffective Paper. She's got some really beautiful layouts. They didn't print quite as nicely as I would like. The lines are very thin, but it's fine. None of these layouts are exactly what I want, but they all have elements of what I want, and I kind of figure I will find it inspiring and kind of stimulating. And even if it doesn't have exactly what I want, then in the new year, when I do have exactly what I want, hopefully that will make me excited. So I've got this one here. I was looking at horizontal kind of style layouts because I think I might pull vertical layouts from here. We'll see. So I've got this one here. I'm sorry, I don't have the numbers in front of me. There's a ton, but I liked this one because it had the habit tracker, it had the 7 days, and then I had a bunch of different kinds of lists. Maybe I'll do some plan with me using these different layouts. And this one is a week on 4 pages, and it's got the timeline for each day. This is probably more to-do space than I need for each day, but we're trying it. Here's another horizontal with some little lists. This is actually the closest to what I'm going to be starting from, the starting point of what I'm going to be using next year, I think. And then here's another one. They're all pretty similar. Again, horizontals with some places for lists. And then I did a couple of repeats here to just finish out the signature. I haven't sewn it or anything. We'll see. what I do. So I like the folder, even though it's not staying together, but it kind of helps give things a little structure. It helps like hold. My elastics are a little tight. I haven't done anything about it. I have something I might want to use. I have this cover, like clear cover from Nib and Floor, collab with Lauren Phelps Designs. I notched it so that it would go more nicely through my strings, but Lauren Phelps Design sells like these like folders where you can put your inserts in them instead of on the strings, which I'm a little tempted by at the moment, although that would involve sewing this in order to do that. Let's put it on a string for the moment. I can always change it. So that's weeklies. This is just real-time thinking. I hate the string with the knot on it, so I'm going to avoid that one. But I'm going to put it on this middle string because I think I also want like a blank scratch notes notebook, and I could put that in here like this. And then here's where things get weird. I'm thinking about cutting apart my Sterling Ink Common Planner. And it feels weird, but I was never planning on keeping this. You know, I haven't kept memories or anything. I was never planning on keeping it. My plan was always to recycle it at the end of the year. And sorry, I'm trying to talk at the same time. And I think I'm just gonna like cut it apart a little early. So I've watched my friend Shauna. I'll put a link to her video below. She had bought a Sterling ink that she wasn't using, and so she like cut out the signatures, and I didn't do a very neat job there, so I think I put some gouges in my paper, but I think it's gonna work. Just pull it out. So essentially what I'm doing here is cutting through the thread binding, because that's like truly what's holding these things together. Then the glue is like reinforcement. But here we've got a little weekly insert. It includes August and September and a little November and a little July. But that way, if I want a weekly, I am thinking about doing this for next year, buying a notebook and dividing it into inserts like this. There's a few in consideration. I've mostly decided against them. All right, I'm gonna put this in a like a solid colored thing so that I can slide it in there. Is this the right height? It's a little bigger than I need, which is exactly what I want. I'm gonna cut this down in a second. Okay, not the neatest job of all time, but that's not the mission we're on here. So we're not going to worry about it too much. I did end up sewing the inside, yes, with dark green thread. That is what was in my sewing machine, and I did not feel like rethreading. So now I think hopefully I can get that into here. It's a little tall. It's not too bad. I didn't cut the folder for this insert. Is a little taller than the actual planner itself. All right, give it a quick trim. Again, not the neatest job of all time here, but we're just trying to get something I can live with and like be excited to use for a few weeks. So as long as we're clear what the goals are. Oh, I forgot. I put this vellum on the inside. That's gonna be my end frame. This is all just madness. I hope I warned you about that in the like thumbnail or whatever beforehand. Sometimes I'm like, no one wants to see all the weird things that I get up to. Like, it's hard for you to replicate exactly what I'm doing because I have access to so much like software and so much hardware in terms of sewing machines and whatever. Is that going to be a problem? Does it fit nicely? And it looks really pretty. Got the glare. That on here. All right, and then I printed out, this is silly, but I'm gonna add it in here anyway. I printed out these Sudokus for my trip. And I think they might be handy to have in here, and we're like so thin. I do like that I still have the gold edges on here. I'm feeling pretty good at the moment about cutting that apart. I probably irreparably damaged this planner, although it still kind of seems like it's holding together. I mean, obviously it's never going to be its original self anymore. I'm going to put the folder back in. Oop. And then the Sudoku inside of that. We'll see if I ever use them or not, but sometimes they can be a good thing for me when I'm driving myself crazy and need a problem to solve, which honestly is how this whole video got to be here in the first place. So clearly it doesn't always save me from that kind of thing, although I didn't have them with me today, but it also never occurred to me. It should have occurred to me. Okay, so here's what we currently got. I need some new decor for this pocket, but I'm just going to leave it like that for the moment. So we've got Sterling Ink Weekly here for my vertical needs. I gotta find some little tabs. Maybe I can use... So the idea is, in my perfect planner, you will be able to see both a vertical and a horizontal at the same time. But that's going to be in like a B6 Slim, I think, which that's not, but it's close. So for the moment, I'm just going to do it across two layouts, and it's going to be annoying to flip back and forth in them, but that's what's going to make me excited for the new one, I think. Let's round some edges here really quickly. because this is a little ugly. So I think flipping between them is going to be annoying, but being annoyed is a little bit of part of the plan. So I'm not gonna let that stop me. So we've got a little bit of overhang here. I don't think it bothers me. I could cut this cover a little shorter, or maybe I can get it a couple more millimeters into this cover. It's not like this a particularly sturdy card stock, so it doesn't hold up that well to me pushing on it. All right, we're gonna leave it. That little bit of overhang, I don't think it's gonna bother me. So we've got B6 Vertical Weekly. We've got Creffective Paper Horizontal Weekly Sampler. We've got folder that I need to re-glue. I'm just like falling apart here. Can you tell? Everything is so janky. This is what you look for in a planner influencer, right? Yeah, I thought so. That's why you come to this channel, for just the polished and so put together look. And then I've got like just scratch notes. What I'm missing, what I want, maybe I want one more insert in here. I've got room for one more. I don't have anything prepared, although I could cut another insert out of here. I need something that's holding what was in my rings. In particular, there's some budget stuff, and there's some media things. So in my ideal insert setup, which this is not, but it's thrown together and I've made that clear and I'll stop saying it. There'd be a weekly, just one packet of weeklies. There would be a scratch pad for just like nonsense, and there would be like a long-term, at least for that year or longer, one for the stuff that like needs to stay as the weekly inserts come in and out. There's still plenty of room and weight in here for me to put that in. It's just a matter of if I want to recopy all that stuff into here or not. And so I could easily cut out another, like one of the blank. I've got two totally unused blank signatures that I could take out. I'm not going to do that on camera. I'm going to carry this around for a day or two and see how I feel. I have a feeling I'm going to miss that stuff. But here's what we got. And then I've got this Uniball 1 that I put in through there. And a pencil. This is a Zebra something tiny. I got it from Jet Pens. And I usually hook that onto the string like this. It's so tiny that you just don't even notice it. Maybe you'd want to take it out when you're writing in here, but on a lot of the spreads it's fine. Some of the places are weirder than others, but it's just a handy place to have it. I can hook it in here as well. But this is my current EDC for the next little while, until the next time I go crazy, which I printed 6 weeks worth of inserts, I think, so hopefully it won't be before then. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll put some links below to Shauna's Reckless Planner Massacre that inspired this, and I hope you found it interesting and that you are doing well and feeling sane. All right, bye friends.